JJ, must be good to be back in the winner's circle.
Yeah, well, we did get the win against the Eagles a couple of weeks ago, but certainly from week to week you want to be winning. So that felt like a good one though. Quality opposition. Our fans were instrumental the other night. It's probably the best or loudest we've heard them for quite some time. They had plenty of good reason to celebrate, and that's what we want to give them. So yeah, all in all, it was a very good night.
Do you feel like that win is more like they're akin to last year, that September, the finals race? Do you feel like that sort of win was that group from last year?
Yeah, I mean, you never want to look too far back, but it felt quite powerful, and we played some really powerful football last year. So I guess the way externally I've heard a lot of people talk about how we went about it, and it looked a lot like 2017. So hopefully 2017 was a good year, all barring the last day. So hopefully if we can continue to play that way, we'll give ourselves a chance.
Is there belief now that there is that finals aspiration in the group that you can make it to the top 8?
Yeah, I think there's more belief about we can play powerful football. We can play football which will allow us to give us a chance, and I've been quite strong on the fact there's no point talking about playing finals too much. You need to get back to playing the way we did last Thursday night, get that identity back, and if we play somewhere near that level, then eventually we'll get there.
What's been holding you back, do you think,
Josh? Look, personnel's been a huge issue. There's no way to get around that. It's, you put a lot of emphasis on young guys having to come in, and ordinarily in a good side you're asking those guys just to contribute a little bit and help out, but those young guys have been asked to do so much. They get tired and it's tough for them, and then the guys who have been there, who stay there, a bigger load falls on their shoulders. So continuity of personnel has been a big issue, and certainly we've had individuals down on form.
Is there a feeling now as the playing group that you're over that hurdle?
Well, it was just a good feeling going into last week. You look around and you see a Sloan, you see a Betts, you see a Walker, you see a Lynch, you see these guys that are back, and all of a sudden you think, hey, this is a side that we thought we were going to have when we started the season. So there's been a silver lining of getting guys like Murphy and Paholke and Gallucci opportunities, but you walk out there last Thursday night and you see some of the familiar faces and you start to feel good about yourself.
So in the bigger picture, Josh, regardless of how this year finishes, it'll be massive going forward to get so much footy into some of those guys, do you think?
Well, that is the actual silver lining, is the ability for those guys to enter next year and beyond of having experienced AFL footy, especially hot games like last week, the West Coast game, even going across to Melbourne and playing against Richmond. It can be daunting at the time, but it's probably worth 10 or 15 games. So that's the great part about those young guys getting an opportunity, and hopefully it allows them to grow for the future.
Do you guys know whether Texas is challenging his ban yet? Or?
No, I've got no idea. Sorry.
What did you make of the incident?
It's just the one thing that strikes me is how quick it happens, and that's not an excuse by any stretch of the imagination, but it just happens so damn fast. And you make, completely unrelated to match review, you make split-second decisions on how to use the ball, whether to tackle, whether to do all those kinds of things, and they happen that fast, and you straight away go, why the hell did I do that, or why didn't I do this, or I should have done that. But you can never underestimate, and as I said, it's not an excuse by any stretch, but how fast things happen out there is incredible.
Well, how does the feeling amongst the group when someone gets reported, especially the captain?
It may have an effect on the individual. I've never been reported, fortunately, so I'm not sure, but for the rest of the guys, for me anyway, it has really no bearing whatsoever. I knew it was a free kick. I didn't actually know Tex had been reported at the time, so it has no bearing on us.
Josh, just on last night's game with Robbie, for example.
Were you late, Rennie?
A little bit late.
Sorry, mate.
Talking about a red card.
Yes.
Do you think that a send-off rule should be discussed or considered, or you're against it completely?
I haven't given it a huge amount of thought, but my first thought would be no. But then when you see a Harris Andrews or someone, as you said, Robbie Gray get the game ended, and it affected Port at big time yesterday because they'd already had an injury to a key player, and irrespective of whether you consider the player that's injured to be one of the best or worst players, you're still down. And I remember looking at the stats last night, and Port had only used about 50 rotations purely because they couldn't get guys on and off the field. So it has a big impact, so it's something worth talking about.
But you're not necessarily in favour, but at least discuss.
Yeah, I think it should be discussed, but I don't have an opinion either way.
It also depends on if that player who's injured actually doesn't come back on the field, though. Is that something like?
Well, yeah, I mean, you could link it up with you can't come back until that person that you've injured comes back. There's a lot to work through, I guess, but I'm not opposed to it.
Yeah, in terms of the state of the game, obviously all the discussion, 6-8 weeks ago
Yep.
about the games in turmoil. We've seen some really great footy the last couple of weeks. You think that's all dead and buried now?
No, I don't think so. I think there's opinions from higher levels than us that change is necessary, and I just think that we forget sometimes. Every game's on TV now. Any era, early 2000s, 90s, 80s, there were bad games of footy, make no mistake. They just weren't on TV. So we don't think we need to make huge quantum shifts, but certainly we should always be looking to improve the game.
Just a bit of a confidence booster for you, mate. I mean, when the game was up for grabs, you know, delivered a couple of really late goals and a couple of good grabs. What was that like for you?
Yeah, it was good. I missed a couple of opportunities in the second quarter, and so it was good to a few nerves going for the first set shot. Been kicking probably a little bit more inaccurately than I have in previous years, so it was good to kick a couple.
And you've taken a few marks as well, JJ, especially contested marks.
Yeah.
That bit of a confidence boost for yourself.
Yeah, certainly. Yeah, I've been working hard, working away all year. I guess the one good thing for me is I haven't been injured this year. I've been able to train every week and play every week, so I felt like I've had consistency throughout the year.
And Talia a chance to come back this week?
I would imagine so. Like, literally came down to game day decision. We didn't know he was out until we got to the ground, so he was very close. So you would imagine, given another 9 days, he'd be right there.
Brisbane's obviously a tougher trip now than it was
Yeah.
6 weeks ago.
Yeah, it is. I watched their entire game. I took the media's role on the weekend, so watched them really closely, and they're so exciting, and I think everyone can see why they're talked about in perhaps a different light to Carlton or St Kilda, because they play so exciting. They're fast, they move the ball, and they score goals. They score really highly and heavily, and to beat Hawthorn down there is no mean feat. I think Hawthorn's Tasmanian record is superb, so they'll be a big challenge for us.
All good, guys. Thank you. Yep.